I was talking to Robert Fox, a very good friend of mine and one of our top defence correspondents, and he was saying Russia is in trouble, Ukraine is in the ascendant in the conflict now, and that may mean a truce is back on the cards. What is your view of that?
Hi, Alistair. Thank you so much for having me. So, first of all, yes, indeed, because of the support that we are getting from our allies, including the United Kingdom, we are pushing Russians back. However, we do not need to forget that they are having basically the second largest army in the world. So they are right now gathering forces to push us back on the south of Ukraine. What is very worrying right now is that tonight they attacked one of the largest nuclear stations in Europe, Zaporizhzhia electro station. And as you have discussed with your previous guests, it is critical that the nuclear power comes with the ability to get the security in. Right now, we are even unable to fight them back because we are so concerned about another tragedy that may happen if the fighting at the nuclear station will continue.
Yeah.
Because we remember Chernobyl, we know that radiation doesn't account of which passport you are holding, and the tragedy may be absolutely massive. That could also be one of the Putin's plans to create an incident at the station and then say that it was his attack as using nuclear powers. But the way that we are going to push it forward is we will make sure by all means that the security of the nuclear station is provided.
I was going to ask you about that, but I don't have to now because you explained it so perfectly. And I think you will correct me if I'm wrong, but we're talking about the Zaporizhzhia nuclear power station, yeah, where the Russians are using it as cover to fire on your people. The other thing, Kira, if I may put to you, that Robert also said, is that there may now be a mood amongst the leadership of Ukraine, your good self included, President Zelensky also included, to say, look, that progress that you have just so eloquently described is such that we are now prepared to consider talking about a ceasefire. If that is the case, who would the honest broker be?
So, first of all the discussions about ceasefire, all the discussion about potential peace need to include two things. First, Ukraine to regain all the territories that we have lost. Second, we need a security guarantees, and that should be external security guarantees. As of right now, I have not seen any single world leader or any single country that would say, we will guarantee that Putin will not attack again. We will vouch for him that he will keep his word. You see, even with the grains deal, and I will remind that we have right now a so-called peaceful deal to get the grains out of Ukrainian ports, secured by United Nations and by Turkey. And so far, the grain is going out. And it seems like a trial for a potential peace that can or cannot be made with Russia. But even with this deal, they attacked Ukrainian ports a day after the deal was signed. And second, I still did not hear anything from United Nations or from Turkey. What would happen if Russia will attack us? Not even with the rockets, but with the warships. Are they going to get into the war? Are they going to get into the fighting and protect Ukraine? Because if not, it is not a security guarantees. And if yes, then the NATO countries, then Turkey as NATO country is basically vouching to get into the war. So without this security dialogue being constructed, there is no peace deals being talked about. And last but not the least, incredibly important, that we are only as good right now as the amount of weapons that you guys are providing to us. And the progress that we are seeing right now is not only because Ukrainian army is pushing and fighting, because we push and fight since the day one, but right now we finally have something in our hands to fight with. real weapons, HIMARSs, different rocket systems, that we are actually able to push Russians back. So to be able to construct any discussion or deal, we need to ensure that the supply of the weapons will continue and is guaranteed for us. And Russia also is waiting for this, because they hope that the supply of the weapon will wind down. And that's why this complicated construction needs to come from all the sides.
Kira, in the past, you've always been clear about your personal gratitude, but also that of the political class in Ukraine for what the UK government has been able to do, and to be blunt, slightly earlier than some others who've come along to support the good people of Ukraine with military support. How concerned are you at the departure of Boris Johnson, and how confident are you that our next Prime Minister is either going to be the current Foreign Secretary, Liz Truss, or the former Chancellor of the Exchequer, Rishi Sunak? How do you view that as an experienced Ukrainian political leader?
So, indeed, the support from the United Kingdom came the earliest, and we are incredibly grateful for that. And there are many politicians in Ukraine that are really concerned because of the change of the leadership in the United Kingdom. However, I want to believe that the support that is coming is not coming from Boris Johnson personally, it's coming from the United Kingdom people. And second, we have carefully read and went through all the statements that both candidates to Prime Minister role have made, and they all ensured, both of them actually ensured, that they will continue on the support of Ukraine. I know that they will both be concentrated, first of all, on the dealing with the economical crisis that all the countries are facing right now. But I see my own job and the job of all Ukrainian politicians to build the new connections, to build the new trust, and to make the agreement that Ukraine will continue receiving the support at the terms, and even bigger, that we have received before. There is another point, is that you guys will need more and more money for this. And this is one of the directions that I'm working on, is to unfreeze Russian assets that right now are in the United Kingdom and use them to cover for the help that Ukraine is getting. And we don't actually care, are this money going to be used for the weapons programs, or for the training programs, or for the refugee programs, or sent directly to Ukraine, but it will help to ease the burden that is coming on every UK taxpayer right now. And I understand that it will get harder and harder.